What is going on, guys? Sonic and the Bean Show here. Today we're looking at the brand new 52 Toys Captain Commando figure. So 52 Toys is starting to make action figures based off of some Capcom arcade games. So for example, they're doing Captain Commando, Final Fight, and I forgot the other game that they're doing, but I was interested in getting this because I played a lot of these when I was really young, and these games don't really get a lot of action figures like that. And who knows when they'll ever get any more. I mean, unless Jada Toys was doing some sort of like Capcom All-Star line or whatever. But I am looking forward to this, so let's take a look at the packaging. So we actually do get the figure right here, and then along with the accessories down here. But you can see, Captain Commando himself. So the nice artwork here to the side, and then of course the Captain Commando logo. Here's the back right here. So again, get the same artwork there. Of course, we got the other characters right there. I actually did order Mac right here, but these two I did miss out on. So I do hate that right there. But I don't even know if these two even came out. I mean, at least I guess depending on where you bought these figures. But I do want to get these because I do want to get the entire line. I do want to zoom in right here just to show this off a little bit. But you can see it does. It does show like, some images of the game right there. So that's pretty cool right there. And then you get like a description of Captain Commando. And yeah, just a little description read right there. But yeah, that's pretty much how the packaging is. Okay, so here's the figure out of the packaging right here. This is a pretty fantastic figure. This is going to be one of those figures where like it's not really something that I'm going to be all in on for the scaling, really, just because it is like a pretty small figure. These figures are like 3 3/4 inches, but I do appreciate the amount of articulation that they added here and the sculpting going on with this guy too, because they did a pretty good job capturing Captain Commando. Most of it is molded plastic, really, but the paint job going on with like the boots and the belt, pretty much the yellow paint going on. Along with like, I didn't mean to drop him right there, or why he kind of fell on his own really. But these tubes right here are actually a soft plastic, so you can move them a little bit, as you can see me moving them. And even when you move the arm a little bit, they still, like, me bending the elbow, it's not like it like gets in the way or anything like that. So that's pretty cool right there. Another Capcom line that I really like, that was pretty much really small, but it had like a pretty good decent amount of articulation, was the Bandai Mega Man 66 action line, where they were making like those small little like Mega Man figurines. So this is kind of like what that reminds me of a little bit, because it's like a smaller like Capcom line, but not just Captain Commando, but like the other figures they're making from other Capcom arcade games. But this is actually pretty cool though. I really do like it. I think the sculpting looks nice. There's actually some shading going around here with the pants, as you can see. Now for the accessories, you only get 2 right here. So this one right here is for your interchangeable right hand, because you can actually take this right hand off. If I can try to. Alright, so there you go. So there it is, and then you would place this. Okay, so I can't really seem to get this peg all the way through the arm to interchange the hand right here. So you're probably going to have to try to heat that up. But we do got the hand. This is just to hold the weapon, which I don't know if there's a certain word for this. But it's like that weapon that pretty much stuns the enemies. And you kind of just slide that, just slide that in just like that. And yeah, it's pretty much that. So, that's pretty much all the accessories. I kind of wish he came, especially like for the price point, I wish he came with like maybe some sort of like fire or like lightning effect that would maybe like come through his arm or something like that, since that's usually what he does. Alright, now let's go over the articulation. So the head is not really too bad on this figure. Like, you can get a little bit of movement going on there, especially for this, how small this figure is. So to have him look up, like, I don't really think that's too bad. But he can't really like look down though. The chin's already connecting right there with the neck. So yeah, can't really look down as much, but you get a little bit of side to side right there with the head. Just a little bit right there, which isn't really too bad. And of course your standard rotation. So yeah, not too bad. The shoulders seem like they're just on a ball peg, so you can pretty much move them like all the way around, but they also do, you know, go back and forth, and you can, you know, move the arm all the way around there. We are single jointed with the elbows. Don't really get the best range though, unfortunately. This is as much as you're gonna get. If I can maybe align the arm, but yeah, not really the best range right there with the elbow. There is a bicep cut, so you can rotate the arm, and then you also can rotate the wrist, but there is no hinge going on with the wrist at all though, so no hinge at all. Now for the torso, so let me move the arms up a little bit. Oh, you know what, I didn't even think I don't think I showed off the hinge. So a hinge to the shoulder, you know, you can see now it does go about this high, which is, you know, pretty good actually. And you know, since the shoulders is like on a, you know, just on a ball peg, you can kind of move them a little forward, just a little bit, you know, that much right there to put the arms, and you can kind of shift that too. So that's gonna help to, you know, if you want to cross his arms or something like that. I forgot to really show that off, but yeah, it's not really too bad. So yeah, thought I would show that off, but let me put the arms back in place to show the torso. So there is actually a cut up here. You can rotate the top part here. And I believe, yeah, there's like a little bit, not much. You can kind of have them crunch a little forward, but we do have a ball peg going on here to the waist, and you can get, you know, a little bit of movement right there. It's actually pretty good though to the side. Like you get that much, and you know, this much right here. So it's really good to the side, but trying to crunch forward, it's not too bad. You know, you get that much, but I think going back is a little bit better than going forward, because he can go just about there. So yeah, it's not too bad. And then for the hips, surprisingly, he can't really get full-on splits, but you know, you do get that much right there. But he can kick forward pretty well, so you know, having him kick forward isn't really too bad. And then he can't really, you know, kick back as much, so you get that much. We do have an upper thigh cut, and we are double jointed with the knees, and you know, that's actually pretty good range right there actually. So you know, that's nice right there. And then for the ankles, surprisingly, there's no boot rotation or any like ankle cut, you know. So yeah, none of that, no shin cut or anything like that. But for the feet, it's pretty much just an ankle rocker. You only get an ankle rocker, you know, for that. And yeah, again, no rotation or anything, and no hinge either. So yeah, that's pretty much the articulation. I think it's okay, you know, like, I mean, not like okay as in like it's not that great. I just think it's okay for like the size of this figure, because like I said, I was impressed with the small little 66 action Mega Man figure that Bandai was doing. You know, I was just surprised of the the amount of articulation they were added with that small little figure. So this is just, you know, a bit bigger too, but I think the articulation isn't really too bad here. I think it's actually okay. I kind of feel the same way, you know, with the Altered Beast Werewolf figure by Jakks Pacific, where even though I wasn't really a fan of the scaling, I like the added articulation and how it was able to pose around really well. And I'm feeling the same way with this figure. So yeah, for something like this, I'm definitely all in on the line, you know, just for the first impressions on this Captain Commando figure. I definitely like it, you know, I think it's actually pretty cool. So now for some comparisons, here I have the old Toy Biz Captain Commando figure from their Marvel vs. Capcom line, and you can see, you know, two different scales, of course. This, I would probably say, if you still have this figure and you were probably thinking about getting this figure to add to your Marvel vs. Capcom collection, since, you know, it's brand new and everything, I would still keep the Toy Biz, just because you know, it'll be a little bit more in scale. I mean, it won't be exactly in scale, but it'll be tall enough for it, you know. I mean, unless you're like a huge Captain Commando figure fan, really, then I would still get the figure, of course, you know, like me. But yeah, just letting you know, you know, this is gonna be a lot taller, since this is in a 3 3/4 inch scale, and you know, their designs is different because this is based off of Marvel vs. Capcom, and this is based off of the arcade. And if you want to see a little bit more, I'll just throw in, you know, the Jada Toys Mega Man and then Ryu right here. And of course I gotta bring the camera up just a little bit, but you can definitely see what I mean right here. So like, yeah, it's not like this figure definitely isn't gonna fit with them, and you know the Toy Biz. I usually use this just because it's still the most accurate. Well, yeah, the only like Captain Commando figure based off of the Marvel vs. Capcom design, really. So yeah, that's the only thing. It's close enough for me, but I'm just gonna use this. Even though I don't usually use the Jada Mega Man, I still use the D-Arts just because that figure still matches the artwork a little bit better in that game. But yeah, that's pretty much that. So I thought I would show that off right there. Now let me actually compare this guy to the Bandai 66 Action Mega Man, because I feel like this is just a little bit better. Like Mega Man's definitely a bit too small here, but I think this would fit a little bit better, especially since they did a lot of other like Mega Man figurines. So that would be cool that I can have these next to, you know, their Captain Commando figures and all the other figures that they're gonna do. Alright, so that is going to wrap up this review on the 52 Toys Captain Commando action figure. I find the figure pretty cool, and I like the articulation of this guy, but the price point and the scaling is something I think takes a toll on this line, and those were the reasons that I saw a lot of people not too happy about, and I can totally understand why. I'm sure most people wanted this on the 1/12 scale for sure, and I do think the 26 to 27 bucks plus shipping on these figures is pretty wild, especially since there's a lot of other figures that are lower than that price and can still come with a decent amount of accessories. While the figure does look pretty decent and the articulation is amazing for its size, I do think more accessories would have been a lot better, whether it's effect parts or, you know, just 2 or 3 weapons from the game. But other than those nitpicks, I still do like the figure. You know, I want to be all in on their Capcom stuff without a doubt. I just wish I didn't hesitate and not buying the Ginzu and Babyhead figures since they are sold out as of right now. But let me know, what are your thoughts on this in the comments down below. Now, I had mine pre-ordered from HobbyLink Japan. They might be sold out as of right now. You could go on and check for yourself. But that is where I was able to get this figure from. As always, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Until then, take care, my friends.